Okay, so today's topic is return goods, processing in Eclipse. That we will jump into Gen just a little bit. As I just said, this is a big topic.
Joined without audio.
I missed muting somebody. Hold on. Mute. There you go. I did recently add to the quick guide for this. Thank you, DJ. Mike Castellano, you're not on the call. You helped too. So the quick guide, I added some screenshots, a little bit info on Gen. I think it's in pretty good shape. Check it out when you can. All right, before we get into the nitty gritty, I just wanted to spend 2 or 3 minutes to give like the big picture, and then we'll go through each step in more detail. So this is how I kind of see the big picture for an order return. It starts with the customer, and then it ends with the customer. Starts with the customer in that they're bringing us some product. If it's a stock return, great. We put it on the shelf, give them their credit. We're pretty much done. But today we're really focusing on when the product is defective or damaged and we have to file a claim. Therefore, we have all these other steps we have to do. Again, we'll get into the details in a moment. But we are going to take that product back. We're going to create a return or negative PO from the return goods queue. We're going to file our claim. Inevitably, you're going to need to do some follow-up with the vendor. Eventually, you'll get your RGA or your field scrap direction, whatever. You'll send the product back or field scrap it, possibly need to follow up with the vendor again. But then you will get your credit, or it'll go to accounts payable. And then you'll give the credit to the customer. Yes, sometimes we give credit to the customer earlier in this process, certain customers, certain products. I'm just presenting kind of the general overview here. So let's get into it. I'm only going to spend just a couple minutes on the sales order writing part of it because I'm guessing most everybody's pretty solid with this, but we'll give it kind of a quick overview. So we write up an order. We write up a sales order as we normally would, but we use negative quantities. I already put a condensate pump on here. Well, there's a reason for that I'll come back to, but let's say I'm going to use this test product. So if I'm bringing back 1, it's going to be -1. And then the product that's coming back, for my example, I want to use this Eclipse test product. And as soon as you put a negative, something on a sales order, it's going to bring up what's called the return goods verification screen. It's going to ask you for some information. If you have the original sales order where the customer bought the product, you can put that in now, but guess what? In a couple of steps, it'll give you a list of where the customer, the sales that where you sold them the product. You can also search for that, but for now, I'm just going to say generally, if they know they bought it from us, we're going to leave it blank for the moment. Return quantity type. Your choices are S for stock. I really think of S as sellable. The product is good. I can put it back on the shelf and resell it. Defective. It's defective. It's damaged. It's broken. It don't work. In Eclipse, it just says defective though, but it means all of those things. We don't use overship here. Review means I'm taking the product back. I don't know if it's good or not. It has to be inspected. Something else has to happen with it. I'm going to choose defective for my example. RGA number, if I already had that, I could key in. Reason for return. And there's a choice of 7, 8, 9 things here. Some of these would only apply if the product was good and coming back, like order error, maybe correction to invoice, customer return. If the product is damaged or defective, really I'm going to do merchandise damage or warranty. If you choose warranty, it's going to launch that warranty form, which some of our vendors will accept. Give me another 2 or 3 minutes and I'll show you on Gen where you can see the list of vendors that this would work for. But here's the Johnstone warranty form that we can complete right here in Eclipse and then submit through Eclipse. The boxes with a red asterisk next to them are required. So let me go ahead and fill out those. Nature of failure is a drop down. Doesn't have this as marked as a required field, but I'm going to do credit only here. Just 1 or 2 other things. What product do they want back? Does the customer want? Oops, too many E's. And I think I got them all. Okay, so then from here, you're going to want to print this form and attach it to the product, and you're going to want to save it. So you can do this print and save. I'm not actually going to print mine out, so I'm just going to save it. Okay, so that is attaching that information I just filled out to that return sales order. We'll come back to that. As I said earlier, if you don't put in the original sale where the customer bought the product, it's going to give you this list. And then I can choose the appropriate sales order. You just click it and then close out of this box. And now in the sales order return, it'll reference that original sale. It'll pull in the customer's original pricing, so you're crediting them back the same thing you charged them originally. Okay. So, like I said, I was going to go quick with that part. Trying to stick to about 20 minutes here. The reason I put this other product on there is just to show you, if you're not sure about the vendor's return policies, then if you're clicked on a product, you can do product cross-reference to get out to Gen. Oops, sorry. Store portal. Going to put it on my other screen. Okay, so here's my condensate pump. Now I click on vendor, Gen warranty link, and this is going to show their warranty or defective policies. Sometimes some of this information will pop up in Eclipse, but there's usually going to be more information if you follow it here on Gen. Warranty period, etc. DJ helped me find this earlier in the week. I suspected there was a list of the vendors that you could use the warranty form for. When we open it up for discussion at the end, maybe you guys can weigh in. I find the way that the list is presented slightly confusing. Let me get it up on the screen here. So if you go into if you go under vendor, warranty information, participating vendors. When we open it up for discussion at the end, I find the way this is presented a little bit confusing, that there's court process vendors and then DC processed vendors, but there's the list. Okay, moving along. So then, like I said, we've taken the product back, we put it into that wherever in our warehouse we have designated for returns. And now we're going to go to the return goods queue. Let me just close out of my order here. So my dummy example is this Eclipse test product 3. I would enter the correct vendor in the return to, and then from here, you can right click, create return order. This will create a negative or return purchase order. Notice that the quantity is negative because we're sending something back to the vendor. I know the costing is not correct on this dummy product here, but you'd make sure you have the right cost. When we get more information, like we get our RGA, when we send the product back and have tracking information, then we're going to want to put that into the header, internal notes on the purchase order. I know we have a little bit of branch variation. The way I'm gonna present this is you don't receive the purchase order yet until you have more information and you actually send the product back. If at your branch you do receive the PO kind of at this stage and your process works for you, I'm not gonna mess with it. But the way I'm gonna present this is we don't receive the PO yet because we're waiting for more instructions or an RGA from the vendor. Oh, sorry, I wanted to stay in that purchase order, guys, to show you. One moment, please. So then from the return purchase order, you can submit that warranty form. I think it doesn't matter what screen you're on, the body, the status, whatever. You click File, Johnstone Submit Warranty Form. I'm in the live system, even though this is a Eclipse dummy vendor, I'm not going to do it, but it will send off the form that you completed. And okay, so then after you send it off, if you want to check like the next day, you can go into Gen and see all of your warranties that have been submitted there. Let me get Gen back up on the screen here. Okay, so up at the very top of Gen, warranty inquiry. My example was King of Prussia, but I'm logged in for Broomall here. So then all you have to do is put in your Johnstone store number, like 413. You can choose open tags, paid tags, or both. You could put in a specific PO if you wanted to filter on that, but I'm just going to say, for my branch, I want to see everything, and it'll put the most recent stuff at the top. So they recently did a mess of returns earlier this week. Credits were already issued. It's telling you that. But what else you would see in here? And I've seen this for almost every branch. Corp does not handle vendor such and such. Unfortunately, Eclipse sometimes will let you submit that warranty form, but then you'll get a message here that, sorry, that vendor won't take it. You would also see things like just sent to vendor. Great, means that they got it, but we don't have, a credit yet or anything else. So that's kind of what you would see in Gen. In a moment, I'll show you how to follow up in Eclipse. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, okay. So then back to Eclipse. I put 3 widgets side by side in my warehouse category. I put return goods, open POs, and aged unbilled stock receipts, because to follow up on returns, you can run an open PO report for negatives. This one, and there's instructions in the quick guide. Just your branch, leave the dates blank, sort by vendor, debits only. So when you run that, as I ran it the other day, it will look like this. So, oh, gotta mute somebody. So these are all negatives, and notice none of these purchase orders have generations after them. So these are all return POs that I've started. Sorry, I'm muting again. These are all return POs that have been created but not yet received. They need to be followed up on, if they get to be more than a couple of weeks old. Most all of these are current. Maybe the Fantech one's getting old, but this is where, inevitably you're going to have to follow up with the vendor. Hey, did you get my claim? Do you need anything else? What do I need to do? Eventually, you'll get your RGA or your direction to field scrap. Then per Matt Will's process, then at that point, I would go in and receive the PO in Eclipse. A received negative PO tells me the product has left. It's been sent back or put in my dumpster. The product is no longer there in my building. So I said earlier, in the header screen internal notes, please add tracking information, the RGA number, warranty claim info, anything like that that'll help us get to the finish line. The other, I think all of the managers get this, but not necessarily everybody at a branch who's dealing with returns. The what's often called the UBAP report, aged unbilled stock receipts report. This one shows received negative POs. You're going to want to put your branch in as the home branch and the buy branch, run this for detail, and then choose credits only. Credits here meaning negatives. Instructions for this are in the quick guide. When you run that, it will look like this. Again, negatives, but notice this time these purchase orders have generations. So these are my received negative POs. So anything on here, we still don't have a credit for. When we do get the credit and we give it to accounts payable, when they process the payable in Eclipse and tie the vendor's credit to your return PO, then those drop off of this report. So these two, again, they're pretty recent, but these two we don't have credits for yet. So this is another point where you may need to follow up with the vendor. Hey, did you guys get this product I sent back 2 weeks ago? I can give you the tracking information. What else has to happen for me to get the credit? Finally, you'll get the credit from the vendor, or it'll go to accounts payable. Then, if you didn't do it earlier in the process, then you can give credit to the customer. You would have left the sales order open in a call when complete status. Should be easy to find. Go in and give your customer credit. Whew, told you I was going to talk a lot today. So let me unmute everybody. Give you the ability to unmute and open it up for discussion.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
So when it's a corp warranty and you're in the return goods queue and you're creating the return PO, I get this question a lot. Being that it's a corp warranty, filing through corp for the vendor, like for your example with your condensate pump, the vendor on that is Franklin Electric. When we right click and create the return order, do we use the vendor as ADC because we're filing through corp, or do we actually put Franklin?
I'm going to crowdsource that answer. Full disclosure, I get around in Eclipse pretty good, but as far as the particulars of dealing with vendors, DJ or Jim, can I put you on the spot for that one?
It's Franklin. Whoever we're getting credit from, even if it's a corp warranty, we still go through them.
Correct. And I get that question a lot. That's why I just wanted to put that out there.
No, that's good.
People think that being it's a corp warranty, so when they go in there, they want to create the return thinking it's going to corp, but it actually is, you select the actual vendor and then you do the file submit to Johnstone Corp. But just being that it's a corp warranty doesn't mean the return PO goes to ADC. I get that question a lot. That's why I just wanted to put that out there.
And on a side note, if you love your accounting person that does your credits, they love when the credit memo vendor matches the negative PO vendor. Makes their life that much easier.
That's a great point, guys.
Essentially, what the direct submit is Corp's filing the warranty for you. That's essentially what's happening.
So would you ever do the return PO to ADC or
only for good product?
Only for good product. Okay, that keeps it simple. So which, kind of for discussion, and like I said, I can envision doing another one of these where we just get into more of the particulars for different vendors. So which vendors do you have to go on to their website and do something, or otherwise go through like a different process?
I would say more than half of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Just all depends. Like all your Coleman warranties, all your Fujitsu warranties are done with a spreadsheet. It just all depends on the vendor. That's the hardest part about the whole return goods and warranties is knowing what to do when you have it.
If you cross-reference any item, the store portal, under vendor, there's a link called Gen Warranty Link, and 9 times out of 10, it'll tell you, the exact process.
Okay, and does it give you links in there to their?
Yeah. So if you pull up, you want to pull up like an item real quick.
Yep. Let me go back to my get into sales order. One sec.
We can do that. We can do that ICM one. So ICM 493. And I cross-reference store portal.
Oh, it's going to go to the other screen. One second.
Then under the vendor tab, Gen Warranty Link. So store procedure, go to ICM controls.
Now, I bet you need a login, or these logins typically branch by branch, or is it like a company login?
All depends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like I'm actually on that site right now. You don't need a login. You just go on there and type your information in. I'll probably send you an email or something with some instructions.
Yeah.
And it looks like for this one, you're going to send it back regardless, and then it's going to sit on your unbilled for at least 3 to 4 weeks.
So I guess, kind of for the collective here, are there certain vendors like that you think it would be useful to kind of step through the process with other folks in the company?
Matt, I can get with you on the side on that. There absolutely are common ones.
Honeywell, Source One.
Which one, DJ?
Honeywell, Source One for starters.
Fujitsu. Bosch.
Goodman / Daikin.
Almost all your equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll reach out because I want to kind of help get this together. I need help on this one with the with the particulars. I might
Another thing that I like to point out, like when Jim said, to help AP and everything on there, is I like to use the last step is filing the warranty with the vendor, because if you go on there and file that warranty, say it's a Goodman, if you go on Goodman and file the warranty before you go into return goods queue, then how are you giving Goodman a return PO to credit?
right.
And sometimes they'll just put a store number in there, and then AP has to send an email out, asking about a credit, rather than if you just leave that step for last, you actually have an exact PO to reference, and you will find out they will get cleared up off your UBAP report a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it early in the process to create that return.
Yeah, some of the sites won't even let you file a warranty without a return PO.
Yeah, but what they've do, Jim, they'll just put the sales order in, and I mean, we know that's AP isn't gonna be able to match that up. So
no, it's gonna end up with a job queue and some research for you to get your credit cleared.
Yeah, so I just try to tell people do that step last with the vendor. That way you have the actual return PO already.
So how much of your week, how many hours a week, Jim or DJ, anybody, how much time are you guys spending on all of this?
Couple hours, probably 3, 4, 5 hours, it all depends on how many customers return warranty stuff. The easiest thing you can do for yourself is not take anything back without our warranty form, because it just gives you all the info and then you can just kind of power through it. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not.